Our topic is about nucleic acid. Nucleic acid is an important class of macromolecules which is found in all cells and viruses. The function of nucleic acids have to do with the storage and expression of genetic information. And this DNA, which is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid, it encodes information the cell needs to make a protein. And the related type of nucleic acid, like RNA, which is nothing but ribonucleic acid, comes in different molecular forms that participate in protein synthesis. Nucleic acid is the term we use to describe specific large molecules in the cell. So they are actually made of polymers of string of repeated unit, and the two most famous of the nucleic acid that you have heard about are DNA and RNA. A nucleic acid in the cell act to actually store the information. The cell, it will encode information much like you record it on a tape into nucleic acid. So the sequence of these molecules in the polymer can convey make a protein, replicate, please replicate me, transfer me to the nucleus. The other amazing part about nucleic acid is that they are very stable proteins. And so that if you think about the need to convey genetic information from one cell to another, you would want a molecule that is very stable, right? And that does not fall apart on its own. And that's the major feature of nucleic acid. The name nucleic acids come from the fact that they were first described because they actually had acidic properties, much like the acid that you know. And the nucleic part comes from the fact that they were first isolated because they were found in the nucleus. And as you know that where the DNA, one of the type of nucleic acid that we have been talking about, is predominantly found. Coming to the functions of nucleotides and nucleic acids. First, we will see about the functions of nucleotide. It performs functions like energy for metabolism, enzyme cofactors, signal transduction. Whereas coming to the functions of nucleic acids are storage of genetic information and the transmission of genetic information and processing of genetic information and protein synthesis. Let's have a glance on history of nucleic acid. So firstly, the Frederick Mesher in 1869, he isolated an acidic compound and named that as nuclein, now which we call it as nucleic acid. Then Jones in 1920, he proved the fact that there are two types of nucleic acid that we know, that is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid and ribonucleic acid, or even you can call it as DNA or RNA. Then in 1935, J.D. Watson and F.H.C. Crick, on the basis of information available, not only proposed the double helical structure of DNA, but they have also suggested what is termed as central dogma of molecular genetics, which state that genetic information flows from DNA to RNA to protein. As we know that nucleic acids is most important macromolecules or biological molecules which are present in the body of an living organism. There are two types of nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA. Nucleic acids, they're basically they're the biopolymers. Means like they are made up of the monomeric units known as nucleotides, or you can say nucleotides, it's nothing but the building blocks. Biopolymers are nothing but they're synthesized under the biological system and they're not synthetically synthesized. And They're the polymers. Polymers means like they're made up of repeated units called monomers. And in the case of this nucleic acid, obviously it's nucleotides. So we can say that there are different types of biopolymers in our body. We'll understand with the help of an example, like protein, right? It is one of the biopolymer in our body. So we know that protein is made up of repeated unit of amino acids. Similarly, nucleic acids are also the important biopolymers in our body, which are made up of repeated units of nucleotides.